Hi friends, it's Claire from Scrappy Nerd UK, and today I have a little bit of a different video for you. I have purchased recently the We Are Memory Keepers frame punch board, and I thought I'd do a bit of a product review for you. Now I've already been playing with this and I'm going to do a bit of a giveaway on this video. So all of these frames that I've actually created, if you leave a comment down below, then I will pick someone at random. I'll punch them all for you as well, and I'll pop them in the post for you because I'm nice like that. So first of all, the frame punch board. Now it looks very daunting, to be honest, but it is so simple to use. So let's get started. So I'm going to I've just cut some. I've just used my my scrap bin, and I've just got some offcuts of different patterned paper and cardstock, and I'm going to show you, you can change all of these into a frame. So I'm going to start with this one here. I'm really sorry if that's a bit glary on your eyes. So first of all, you have the this doodah thing to the left. So first of all, you can see there's quite a few holes in there, and these are your guides. So basically, ignore these first two. That will create your corner rounder if you want your corners rounded afterwards. It'll just depend on how thick of a frame you want. So for instance, I'll just grab the other frames to give you an example. If you wanted a really skinny frame, then the 0.25, so these first two notches here, create the width of the frame. Now, if you wanted something a bit wider, then you can go to 0.5, and something a bit wider again, you can go to 0.75, and all the way up to 1 inch. And you get completely different effects with whatever size you want. So I'm going to go with the 0.5. So locating, oh, that's the wrong way around, and that's the wrong side. So locating it in here, so here's the 0.25 holes, so I'm going with the 0.5 holes there and there. Now on this side, you need to make sure your guide bar is also set at 0.5, and again, these correspond with these. So if you've set it at 0.25, you want to set it at 0.25 here. So I'm just going to put that in now, and I'm going to put it in now because I may forget. So I'm going to grab my bit of card, I'm going to line it up with the guides, and as you do with most We Are Memory Keepers boards, you're going to punch down. Your offcuts are underneath. Some people have suggested, I've seen in other groups, that you could use these as photo corners. To me, they're going in the bin. So this is what you're left with. And you think, how are you going to turn that into a frame? Well, this is where this side of it comes in. So all you do is you butt your card up to that guideline, place your ruler down, and then you have this is an exposed blade, so you do have to be careful. So you have this blade here, and you have this which goes into the runner. So you pop the little circle into the runner, and all you want to do is run it between the two hollow areas. If you do it any more than that, you're going to cut the whole way through the outer of the frame. So once that's done, you lift it up, twist your paper round, and onto your next cut. And again, you go all the way around, and last one. Now, they do say in the booklet you can get little snags, and to be fair, I have found that, but to be honest with you, it doesn't take much just to pull those extra little bits off, and then this is what you're left with. A perfectly square frame. I'm super, super impressed. Now, what you can do is you're left with this as an offcut. What I've discovered, this is my little nugget of genius, as I like to think, I thought this looks rather like a tab. So I grabbed my trimmer, and I sliced it to make this bit back into a square. And this is what you're left with. How brilliant is that? So I also got some gold ones here that I've done as well. And I'm constantly tucking these things behind photos to create a little tab. And look at that. So you can reuse the end bits here to create tabs on your projects. So I'm just going to do the other side. And then, so we get 2 tabs out of that. Look at that. I know. I'm a genius. And then you're left with this bit, which you can also turn into a frame. So actually we're going to do that now with this one. Now what you can do is you can create square frames, you can also create oblong frames, and you can also create Polaroid frames. So what we're going to do is we're going to change it to 0.25 for both of these. Now what we're going to do is we're going to punch down in the top 2 corners on 0.25. Now we need to move it up so we get a bit more of cardstock. So we're going to move that up to 0.75, and then we're going to punch down, we're going to flip it over, and we're going to punch down again. So this is what you're left with. Now what you need to do, what I should have done is change my little bar first, but never mind, I've remembered. We've got 2 lines up here. The majority of these around the frame are 0.25, but obviously this one is a 0.75. So we'll move it to the 0.25 position first. We're going to lift our bar up and put the first side in. So the big part we'll come back to. I'm just going to put it in the runner, and we're just going to give it a little cut on all 3 sides, apart from the side where it's got the bigger block of paper. And then to cut this side we need to move the bar to 0.75. So the guideline on here was 0.75 to get this, so we need to move this to 0.75. And we'll pop that in, and the little cut. Make sure when you're not using this that you do press that back into the holder to avoid any injuries, because I'm worried about your health and safety and all that. And this is what we're left with, this perfect little Polaroid frame. So out of that 1 bit of paper we've got 2. Now this bit here is too small to make another frame out of. I believe the smallest frame you can make is a 2-inch square frame. Again though, you could cut these tabs off and use them if you wanted to. So we have these 2 frames. Okay, so next we're going to make this this bigger one into a frame. Now this can take or make a frame up to 12 inches, and I will show you a 12-inch version and you'll be so impressed. So first of all we're going to change this. It doesn't matter, as I said, whether it's square or whether it's oblong. I'm going to change this to 0.5, and I'm just going to punch around each of the corners and just make sure that that is sat square in there. If you don't, when you come to trim it, you will find that you have little stringy bits of paper that don't quite cut properly. However, if that happens, just grab your scissors and just trim it off. It's not too much of a problem. So I've just moved my bar to the 0.5 marker, pop the guide down, and I'm just going to cut along each of these. Make sure you don't press it too much into that bar, because again you're going to cause yourself problems. Just rest it up against the bar until it stops. And we have again a perfect frame. Now if you want to round those corners, that's fine. So this is what these 2 holes are for. So we're going to move the guides down into the corner rounder position. We're going to pop the frame right into the corner, and we're going to press down. On all 4, or 2, if you only want to do 2, that's fine as well. And we have a lovely rounded corner frame. How perfect is that? I've been doing some with glittered cardstock, and look at this. For all you ladies out there that love anything gold foil, grab yourself some gold glittered cardstock, and it's goes in still perfectly with this. So last one I'm going to show you is the fact that you can get a frame out of a 12 by 12. So for anyone that's interested what paper this is, it's a really old one by Fancy Pants Design, called Sweet Spring, and that was the collection. I think it's called Sweet Spring Title Strips. And I just grabbed this out of my stash because I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to use it, so I thought I'd use it for this demonstration. So what we're going to do is we're going to move our guides to the thickness of the frame that we want. So I think I'm going to go with purely because it's a bit of a bigger paper, I'm going to go with a 0.75. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same as what I've done with all of the others. So I'm going to butt that up in the corner. And I'm just going to check to make sure you guys can see this. Yep, move it down a little bit. I'm going to butt that up in the corner and I'm going to punch. And the same again with this one, making sure it's nice and square in there. And I'm just going to go around each corner. Now for those scrapbookers, if you're anything like me and you like to make the most of your paper, you like to gut the middle of your card, your pattern paper, this will do it very easily for you without having to mess around with a trimmer and cutting into lines, and this gives you a perfect cut. So I've cut each of the 4 corners. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the bar to 0.75, which is the width of the frame that I cut. And I'm going to start by popping it in, and I'm going to cut up to the furthest along it will go. I'm then going to flip it over. I'm going to butt that up to the bar as well, and I'm going to do the same thing coming back, and then that is going to meet in the middle and is going to give you a perfect cut. So again, I'll just pop that in. Oh, and it's alive. I'm going to bring that as far along as it will go. I'm going to flip it over, butt it up to the bar, and again, I'm just going to pull that along until it meets. So once again, you can't really do this wrong. The only thing you need to watch out for is obviously making sure that you don't go too far and you stop when you get into the recessed areas, the cutout areas. And then the last one, again, making sure your paper is nice and straight against that, against the guide. And I'm just going to do the last cut here. There we go. And I'm going to put that back in the holder. So, how easy was that? And it also creates a lovely patterned border. So you could grab some white cardstock and you could use this part as your central piece with the white background. Or if you're anything like me and you like to back your white cardstock on your pattern paper but don't want to lose too much of the centre, then again, obviously this cardstock's not been cut down, but this will give you the general idea. You then get the perfect frame to mount your white cardstock on, or turn it around the other way, whichever side you want, and that will give you the perfect frame on top of your cardstock as well. And then you can start to bring in your frames and do your layouts with those. I personally, and this was bought and paid for with my own money, I personally absolutely love this. It's probably my favourite tool from We Are Memory Keepers. I like the envelope punch board as well, but this is my new favourite, and I can see I'm going to get a lot of use out of this. So, as I mentioned, I'm going to do a giveaway for a ton of frames. I'm going to cut loads out. Probably won't do 12 by 12 only because I want to try and get them into a smaller envelope. So I'll cut loads more of these out. So if you want to be in with a chance of winning the giveaway, as I said, make sure you leave a comment down below so I can track you back, and I'll do a winner. I'll draw a winner in a couple of weeks. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it very informative. If you have any questions with regards to the memory, we are memory is late. We Are Memory Keepers frame punch board. Then again, just leave me a comment down below. I'll come back to every one of you, and if I don't know the answer, I'll try and find out. So thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.